Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the greatest podcast in the world. I'm home alone with Bud tonight. Bud is down here. He may join in the podcast. He may not. Are you going to join in the podcast tonight, Bud? No. Oh, tail's wagging. Good side. Tail is wagging. Just to pre-warn anybody who's listening to this as a podcast, if somebody knocks at the door, all hell's going to break loose. So if you know where I live, it might be a bit of a laugh. Come round, knock on the door, because then it'll just ruin the podcast. Just putting it out there. Tope. Actually, he's probably at McDonald's having another big arch, probably, because he's such a huge fan. We'll come on to that. Good evening. This is a running podcast, by the way, people, that we record live. There's people here going to be joining us at some point. We've got a crack team of hosts tonight. We've got, what's his name again? Lee? No, Ben down there. We've got Hayden, and we've got Admin. Admin's in the house to keep everybody in order. And after this, we're doing a pre-record because we're getting all the pre-records done. I know you're there, Bud. He's now tapping because I've mentioned him. He's now tapping. But we're doing a pre-record because I'm going on holiday. So we're doing that as well after this. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight. All I can say is that we're talking about why you shouldn't miss long runs. It's really important not to miss long runs. And we're going to tell you why in just a bit. I know you're there. In just a bit. Team, how are we? Is everybody okay?
I'm good. I've got a couple of questions before we start, if that's okay.
Oh, dear.
First
I'm not in the mood for this.
I know you're not, but I need to know some answers. Why are you Lando tonight?
Come on. One sec. Bad, just get up here. Otherwise, you're going to be annoyed. Come on. Get up. Good boy. Okay. Because it's a British Grand Prix, and we're supporting Lando.
That's a question and answer. That's nice and easy. The second one is...
And
Did you
get
get
his own monster drink.
Have you had it yet?
Oh, God.
My brother is fueling this addiction. Can I just put this at admin? I'm not making this up. My brother just sent me this picture. I'm not joking. He's got something for me at the weekend, he said. I'm going to put it up to the camera. Can you see the lettering?
Jeez.
I know, it's fueling
I'm actually going to message him directly.
It's fueling the addiction. Sorry, Hayden, what was the question?
The second question was, is your tail wagging tonight? It's important.
My tail's definitely not wagging. If anything's between my legs. But
that
could be good, that could be bad. Could be bad. That could be good, that could be bad. We don't know. We don't know between us. Because the girls are out there in London at a show. So we're home alone. And, anything could happen, really, including somebody knocking on the door. But anyway, if you are joining this rubbish live, make sure you get your questions, get your comments in and join in the show as you do get involved. We're talking about why you shouldn't miss your long runs. It is an important subject. So we're going to add, I reckon, maybe 5 minutes of value tonight, probably. That's a bit strong. If anyone's been listening to the last few weeks of the show, we've added none. So anything we had this week's going to be, I think, a positive. Hayden, you haven't been around for a few weeks, have you?
I was on last week.
Oh, was you? I was going to say, have you listened to any of the crap that we've done? I mean, have you been listening to any of the stuff that we've been putting out? It's been bad. It's been most of it's been talking about Ben's his love life, which is non-existent, so that didn't take long. And also, yeah, go on.
He said he's not around for the pre-record at 8 o'clock, so I am wondering where he's going.
It ain't on a date. It ain't on a date.
It's that common.
He's going back to Harvard. Heart Common.
I'm taking my dog down to my mum.
Oh, there you go.
I'm up early in the morning.
Because, Ben, where are you going? It's a good segue, this.
Let's see. Where am I going tomorrow? We are going to Clapham Common Park Run for London Pride.
Good segue, young man. So last year, loads of us went to Clapham Common for a Pride Monster Pride Park Run. I tell you the effects, right? The Monster, it hits you for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I get about 62 hours worth of work done in 3 minutes. And then I fall off the cliff and I can't talk. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Pride Park Run. We did it last year and we're going back this year, but on let's say a smaller scale. I would say, hey, is that fair?
I would, because a lot of the people that come last year got their own adventure tomorrow going over to Dublin for the day for Park Run, which is amazing.
Lucky devils. Did you go there before, though, you lot? Dublin Park Run?
Yeah, we've done Dublin the very first time. The first extreme park run we've done, and for those who don't know what it is, someone come up with an idea. I think it might have been Kieran. In one day, how far can we go and do a park run? And someone come up with the idea. It was 29 quid return, Ryanair, flew to Dublin, got off the plane, run to the park run, done the park run, went to the pub, had breakfast, had some pints, and flew back home the same day.
Amazing.
Since then, we've been doing them ever since. And the guys are out to Dublin tomorrow to do pretty much the same thing at a different park run.
Isn't there one in August?
There is. That one is down in Dorset. That's more of a challenging one as opposed to seeing how far you can go for the day. They've all got that extreme element. The one down on the coast, the Jurassic Coast, is going to be extremely hard with absolute spectacular views. So it's going to be fun.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Admin,
Yeah.
are you planning on going to that one?
Where? Jurassic Park one? No, but I think I'm going to make an appearance at Clapham in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh no, it means I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Is Bill coming?
No, Bill's on Daddy
but I
Day.
need
I know, Bad's
Bill's
gutted.
my
Look, Bad's
wingman.
gutted. Yeah, I need to know where.
Oh, yeah, he was last year.
I want to know where Bill is. I haven't seen him in ages. Okay, so admin's going to be there. We're all going to be there. That means.
Yeah.
We could have just recorded this there. It would have been a lot easier, wouldn't it? I wouldn't have had all this aggravation. Where is Dublin Park Run tomorrow? James is asking.
Have they decided? I don't know if they.
Yeah, they have decided. I don't know. I know it's not the River Valley one. It's the other one you can get to from the airport in 20 minutes.
Is Wilco watching?
Facebook group. Yeah, I'm Wilco Carolyn. But if you go on the Facebook group, there should be an event, and it should be in there. If not, post in there, and someone will.
Someone will answer.
Yeah.
Someone will
about
answer.
15,000 people. One of them will answer.
So it's a big weekend for the community and the club. Everybody's out and about, which we like. We like it, people. We like it. Before everyone goes on holiday, everyone's going to get out and about. Talking about getting out and about, we've got a lot of people coming to Newcastle. We did the Great North Run Shakeout. We put that event up, and within, I don't know, let's say 2 hours, 250 people have signed up already. I know, it's bigger than some park runs, right? But we've sorted it out, and we've still got space because we're absolute legends, and we've changed some stuff around. So if you do want to come, but you must sign up like ASAP, okay? Because we are, we've got to manage all that. We're not like some other places that don't use run readers or not have insurance and risk assessments and stuff, but we're not going to go into that today.
No.
But I need you to sign on so we can manage it all because it's going to be a monster and we need to organise stuff. So get on that. The other one, actually, I thought about this week because we had a call about it, is Chicago. If you are coming out to Chicago with sports tours or not, whatever, get on the website and sign up for the Sunrise Run because we're doing that. Hey, what time's that going out and from where?
It'll be going out from the bridge right on the river. And I think time-wise, Ben, I can't remember. I think we started to run just after 6, about 10 past 6, something like that, 6:15.
Yeah, it was about that because I caught you guys up. So yeah.
So get involved. It's free. Just sign up. We're also doing a pod when we're out there as well. So get involved in that. But again, it just helps us in terms of managing numbers and stuff like that. Admin, are you still going to go and do the New York Marathon at the end of the year?
No.
I thought you were doing it. What are you laughing for? What?
I didn't get a place.
Didn't you?
No.
So is it Sydney you're doing?
I'm not doing any marathons.
Don't tell lies.
I'm not.
Look at the amount of running you're doing.
What? One run today?
Oh, it's more than you have to do.
I did try and go for a run last night, but
what happened?
Got stuck in traffic and had to call Hayden and tell him that I wasn't going to make it. To be fair, I wasn't. I was sat on the road for ages. It was ridiculous. But
it's not good, is it? I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
I've got a 10-miler at the weekend on Sunday. It's a race. Okay, it's a local race here called the Wear 10s. It's a really good local running club called Wear Joggers. And they put on this race every year. I mean, you've done it.
Yeah.
Ben's done it. Hey, you ain't done it, have you? You don't come this far over, do you? What the hell was that noise?
There's a motorbike going past.
When are you moving? Honestly, I can't be putting up with this.
Sorry, I've got my window open and it's like...
I've got mine open, but... Oh, anyway.
Well, you live in a nice area.
No, it's not. Honestly, if you
nice
actually, I better not get into that. I'll get told off. She's out, but she was anyway. Oh yeah, so Wear 10s. It's a local event, and I think these are great. These little local club events that happen. There was one. What was that one in Southend I went to? Hayden, the 10K. Ben, you was there. What was that? Not Hayden. Ben, what was that 10K one?
The village one.
Yeah.
Oh, what the
Yeah, what was that called?
Broadwood.
Essex.
Broadhurst.
Great little event. I would have getting into the
Southend.
That was somewhere around it. Apart from getting into the car park, which is total carnage, it was a really good little event. And I don't know about you guys, but I really like these sort of smaller, villagey, like local club event sort of things. I just think they're kind of cool. All right, you might nearly get run over as you're running along because they're not closed roads or anything like that. But they're really good. Marshals are usually brilliant because they're like from the club and stuff like that. They're not over the top in terms of money. Like the one we did the other week was 14 quid, which is just crazy. Yeah, so it's great to do these local. Anyway, I digress. That's your fire, I mean. I got this 10-mile race. But the question is, how do you actually race a 10-mile race? In terms of, because it's not a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not 10K, so you can't, whatever. And anybody who is listening to this, you're probably not bothered anymore. But if you are listening to this, how do you race a 10-miler? Hayden?
I've only ever done one 10-miler, and that's Great South.
That's true. Great South. So how did you do that?
Well, I was running with someone that day, so we were taking it a bit easier. But if I was I did think about this recently. I think I'd probably go out at half marathon pace. If I was going to go for a half marathon pace till maybe up about 5-6 miles and see how I felt, and then maybe pick it up a bit.
I mean, funny one, isn't it? It's
a really tricky one because I also think it depends on what you're trying to do. Because is it a training run? In which case,
no, all races this year are not training runs. They should have a high effort element to it.
Well, you've got to go out hard. I think Hayden's right. You probably go out at half marathon pace and then pick it up, or you go all out.
10K pace.
Yeah, 10K pace from the start and see how long you can hold it. If you can, and if you can hold that until even like 7-8 miles, even if you drop back, because the course you're running on is tough. That Ware 10's 10-miler is tough, right? It's not flat, it's hilly. There's a bit of you're down the river, there's some mixed terrain.
Gravel, it's potholes.
So I do think I'd probably, if I was you and you're saying they've got to have a high effort element, you've got to go out at 10K pace and hold it for as long as you can.
Yeah, but are you trying to kill me?
No, I'm just saying.
Sounds like it.
This is it. If Ben was asking you what he should do, you'd probably tell him to go at 5K pace and kill himself. I'm being reasonable here.
I
think that's fair.
To be
fair. I think you've got to go at a 10K pace and see where you're at.
He'd tell me to try and win it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why you don't finish first in your age. What is it? 50 something, isn't it? What? The thing is with it is I don't know, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. I don't know. This is why I asked the question. I genuinely don't know what strategy I should employ because I blew up at a 10K the other week. I was absolutely shit at this 10K.
Yeah, but it was 100 degrees on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, or whatever, but it was still shit. So I've got to do better, and I cocked up my strategy that night. Basically, I ran too hard at the start when it was 2,000 degrees. And there's a lot of noise in that lot. There's a lot of smells and a lot of noise, and there's just people there. It was really irritating. But the thing is, I don't know what to do.
I would, based on that, the fact that that 10K didn't go to plan, I would actually go at a 10K pace at least for that first 10K and see how you feel. You've only got 4 miles after that.
Yeah, but I've got a 10K next Sunday. I got the Saucony 10K.
Oh,
so that's and I've got 10 miles tomorrow with Silly Bollocks when we go to Pride. We've got 10 miles in the morning to do that. So I'm actually technically doing 20 miles over the weekend.
Right. Well, then
I think you should do half marathon. I think you should do half marathon for the first lap, and it is 2 laps, remember, and then push for the second lap.
But would you do that? This is my question.
That's what I'm good.
That's what you're going to do.
So so I'm just thinking, what did I do last year? I think I went out. Yeah, I went out probably in between 10K and half marathon pace, and then Chris struggled with the second lap, and so we kind of pulled it back a little bit.
Not me.
No, not you.
You wouldn't have survived the first lap.
Strong, isn't it?
But no, I'm going to go out. Yeah, I'm going to go out half marathon pace.
I've just forgotten something.
Go on.
We've got to give our sponsors a shout out. Bit late.
15 minutes in.
Yeah, it's just the worst. This has slowly become the worst running podcast out there. It used to be the best, but since Paula started and she's really good, you've got that what's it face and all this other stuff. This is just basically become a sham, isn't it? Anyway, Skechers, we've got a big shout out to our friends at Skechers. The new Skechers shoes are coming on sale July the 15th. the Aerospark. So make sure you check them out. They're actually, if you go on YouTube, I'm not making this up anymore. There's actually some really good reviews out on the new Skechers shoes, the Aero Burst and stuff like that. So check them out when they do come.
What's the new version of the Go Ride? Whatever I add.
Spark. That's what you want.
Right.
And if you, I don't know if I could say this. I'd say it quite. If you'd have come on Wednesday, you could have got a pair.
Oh.
I know, but you can't talk about that. I was going to say something, but I totally forgot. Oh, I've got a new game, but it's provisional.
You said no games.
No, I've only just thought of it while I was sitting here bored listening to your answers. This is, I think, could be a brilliant game, and it opens us up to potential new sponsors. So that's good news as well. Now, I haven't got a jingle. I haven't got any artwork because I literally just thought about this while I was sitting here while you was talking. And I think this would be a brilliant game. So if you are still listening to this live, get involved in the comments as well. Hayden, what I want you to do, right, is think of a monster drink flavour, okay, that you would have. And the other two, I've got to guess the ingredients for it. It's a good game.
What?
So just think about it. So at the moment, there's like, I had one today that was strawberries and cream. Think about it. Okay. I had that mainly because it was Wimbledon and the Lando drink wasn't there. But they have like all these different concoctions. So what would you put in your monster drink? Again, there are other energy drinks available if they want to sponsor this pod. But what I want you to think of, he's now thinking of that. And I want you to guess what's going in those ingredients. The clock is ticking. Go. You're meant to be saying them.
We're meant to be guessing.
Yeah. Guessing what flavour he'd want.
Yeah.
Just
what ingredient?
blue raspberry.
Nearly. Nope.
Apple.
Nope.
Who was that? Apple.
Blueberries.
Yes.
Oh.
Is that it? You just having a blueberry?
No,
one?
and one other item.
Acai berry.
A what? A what? A what? No, seriously.
They go together.
A what?
The blueberry and acai berry, or whatever it is.
What else goes with blueberry? Blueberry and raspberry, blueberry and strawberry.
Blueberry and raspberry. Admin got it.
Oh, that'd be rank.
No, it'd be nice and sweet. That's what you need.
No, dude, honestly, the one I had today, it was like, you know those squishies that you get?
Yeah, love them.
Oh, they're nice.
Put a whole packet in your mouth and then wash it down with water. That's what it tastes like every sip. It was so sweet. Like, and it had 0 sugar, allegedly. The sweetness in it, it must have been out of the crop. Right, Admin, you'll go. Ready? You boys guess.
Banana.
Oh. Blueberry.
Can you see where I need the graphic?
Acai berries.
Kiwi.
Mango.
Kiwi drink.
Admin, what was it?
Pineapple and coconut.
Oh, actually, that'd be quite nice. That would make quite...
I was thinking
no, actually, chilled with a what's it load of caffeine. That'd be quite nice, actually.
There you go.
I like that one. Right, last round. Ready? I hope you're all playing along. You're not
this one's going to be easy.
Right.
Acai berries.
Actually, no.
Kiwi.
Spinach.
Kale.
That's an interesting one. No.
Mango. Passion fruit. Dragon fruit.
No. What was it?
I'd have gone ginger and lime.
What?
It's quite nice. Try it.
No, that's not right, that.
Yeah. Bit of heat and then a bit of acidity.
No,
honestly.
Not in a monster. I'm sorry.
I don't.
I think I won that.
Yeah, Admin won that. Admin, you win if I can get one, a Lando monster drink.
Keep it.
Well, apparently James Wicks said in the comments there is an ultra black monster is the blueberry one, so there's one out there.
There you go. So, Hayden, I expect you to be drinking that this weekend. Dan Morris had a question. What's the best website to find London? Hang on.
Find races in London and the southeast.
What's the best website to find races in London and the southeast? Now, it's interesting. This is a good topic, this. I went on one the other day, right? I can't remember the name of it. I'd love to remember the name of it because I'd hammer them. It was absolute rubbish. I went on there. I'm going to try and find the name of it. It was terrible. It listed all these races that were totally like non-existent. Why is there not a really good race finder? They tend to be like a little bit, like not a little bit, but proper hit and miss. I thought there used to be a race Like there's like I'm gonna get it wrong, like Find a Race or something like that.
It is findarace.com, but is that?
But one of them, the one I was on the other day, was useless. It was like it was just terrible in terms of like. I said, oh, I wanted a half marathon in. I think I was looking for a client, half marathon in Southeast in July, and it gave me everything for November in Scotland. I was like, oh, thanks for that. It's really helpful. And I kept trying it, and it kept giving me 10K. It was total shit. But I just think it would be good if, and obviously Dan's struggling to find a website. I just think there needs to be a really good website that actually has all of them on there and does it properly. I mean, it must be a what's it load of data.
Yeah, it's a lot. But if I was Dan, I'd worst case scenario, make it sound a bit derogatory, but head over to Run Through. The Run Through website, loads of London South East races. They're quite good on their website. You find something.
Oh, mate, you're right. When I got frustrated with that crap, I then went straight onto Run Through and tried to find a race there, and I couldn't find one there, so I went over to ATW events.
Yeah.
And basically, those two are bound to have something. What's this? Decent local races aren't swamped with Instagrams. I'm the same, Dan. All these helmets from Instagram. Who's it? But yeah, it's true. It's like Run Through an ATW, you'll probably find something.
What happens if you put it into ChatGPT? Actually,
that's what I was going to ask. Would that
do
not
it then? Do it.
For you?
Who's got a chat? Whatever it's called.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Right, admin. So write exactly what Dan Morris said, and don't forget he doesn't want the ones that are swamped with Instagrammers like Hayden.
Well, I'm not putting that in. I'll just start with what's the best website, and let's see what this tells me.
No, not the best website. You want to know?
Surely you could put into ChatGPT,
Chat
find me a race in London for this date, and
list
it come out with it.
the races in London and the South East.
She's quick at typing, isn't
July.
she?
This is why she's called admin.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a strong reason why she's called admin.
Oh, hold on.
Was she just making noises?
I said, list all the races in London and the South East in July. And it said, could you clarify what type of races you're interested in? For example, running races, horse races, harness races, or dog races. Right.
Dog races.
Running
Dog races.
I said, it's why she's doing that. Has anyone been to the Greyhounds recently? Dog racing.
I went a couple of years ago.
I haven't been for ages. Someone went the other day. They said it was blind. I used to love going to the dogs. I mean, you sorted it out.
Yeah, wait. I'm just.
But then I've got a gambling habit, so it's no good. It's just you've got to stop these things. So you just get hyper focused.
Is there anything you're not addicted to? Oh, happiness, smiling.
Yeah.
Halloumi. Someone just saw someone wrote in the comments. Just guaranteed I'm not.
Right. Dan, I'm actually gonna. Oh, I can't do it. But if you type in running races in July 2025 across London and the South East, it brings up a whole list of races.
So ChatGPT is the future of.
And then actually, it even gives you a summary table at the bottom of all.
There you go. So you don't need that crap website that I was on the other day. Just head over to whatever they've just said and smash your life out of it. There you go. So there you go. That's probably the 5 minutes of value add that we've enjoyed. Lastly, and before we get on to the why you shouldn't miss long runs, this is a serious question. Hayden, have you tried the Big Arch?
I haven't tried the Big Arch yet. No.
Ben, have you tried the Big Arch?
No, it's against my diet.
That's just a total lie. Admin, have you tried the Big Arch?
No, because there's still some contention around whether I'm allowed to have it without.
Can anybody let us know in the comments if you've tried the Big Arch? We've got our sound and AV guy who works behind the scenes. Is still upset a week later how disappointed he was in the Big Arch.
Did he score it 2 out of 10?
And I fundamentally disagree with him.
So what happened was he asked Chris if it was worth having. Chris said yes, it's an 8 out of 10. So Toby took himself along to McDonald's on a Thursday night, and then all we've had ever since then, a day later, is rage, like absolute rage.
Still upset about it.
He gave it
15 miles of rage on Sunday.
Yeah, 3 out of 10. Said it was the worst thing he's ever eaten. It's too salty. It's terrible. And now whatever you ask him,
salt. Yeah.
His response is, well, it'd be better than a Big Arch. You could literally.
Can I just say, Amy, sorry, I don't mean to rudely interrupt you. Can I just say, no, I hated to stop paying attention to you before you start.
Oh, I'll tell you why in a minute. Come back to me. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Go on.
No,
you tell why now. Fess up.
Because when you muck about ChatGPT, I thought about something and I just typed into it. Where is my local 40 Runs Running Club? My closest 40 Runs Running Club satellite club. And ChatGTP is unbelievable. It comes up, 40 runs offers a satellite club in London as part of its UK-wide weekly social runs network. Wednesday's 45-minute social run meet at St Villiers Street outside PwC.
No, it doesn't.
On my life, it says that on ChatGTP. I promise you.
Holy shit.
ChatGPT is a genius.
They should sponsor this pod. Them are monster drinks along with Skechers.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. Right,
but that's unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, he wasn't paying attention.
No, we know that. It's usually drinking bottles of water or, I don't know, ordering dinner or getting juice to warm up the helicopter, something like that. But it's like, that's unbelievable. So chat, whatever it's called, knows about us.
It knows.
I bet if you typed in there, what's the worst running podcast? I know what we're coming out and stop. Actually, do that for a laugh.
No, because it could go really tits up.
Who cares? We don't give a. We're going to be off the air soon anyway. We're getting bored of this. Everyone's getting bored of this. Right. Moving on, people. Why you shouldn't miss long runs. And this is a serious point, okay? I get asked sometimes, especially when like holidays are coming up. And like, Ben, what was that noise?
Sorry. That's my water.
Don't you start doing it. Look, he's still on ChatGPT.
You told me to.
What was the answer? Was it this?
No, it wouldn't give an answer.
Oh.
It's subjective.
Okay.
I might type it in myself. Just
I mean, you type in. Everybody type in now. Well, just pause. If you're watching live, go into chat, whatever they called it, and type in what's the worst running podcast.
In the UK.
In the UK, yeah.
It is not the Long Run Show. I promise you that.
Oh, please. Admin, tell me. Does it give you an answer? I was doing a nice segue to the thing.
I'm sorry. I apologise.
No, it was Ben's fault because he disturbed me. Admin, have you got an answer? No.
Hold on, no.
Remember, we're live. No? I've just had a brilliant idea for the show.
No.
When we do a live show next, we could come up with stuff where we use ChatGPT live on stage. How good would that be? Be fair.
Could be dangerous, but it'd be good.
To be fair, that would be good. Who's a really shit to follow on Instagram? What's the worst YouTube channel? Who's, all this sort of stuff.
Running influencer.
Who's the worst running influencer? I guarantee. I'll just put my hand up anyway before we even ask it. But all that sort of stuff, it'd be well good. All controversial stuff on stage.
Are you allowed to meet at Hertford Common after 8 p.m. at night?
Well, yeah, it depends if your name's Ben or not. Guys, come on, get back. I'm trying to get us back on top.
Go.
Again, total rubbish this show tonight. So I go back to my point. So I've been talking to clients, stuff like that. They all get nervous about holidays and things like, what am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And then it got to the point of, is there any runs that I can like not do? Is there anything I can miss and all this sort of stuff? And it come back to me. It came to me about this week's show about it, and the one run that I would say that you don't miss, half marathon, because half marathon training is beginning for a lot of people, or marathon training, or ultras if you're mental, is the long run. And that's why I thought we'd talk about why tonight, because it is important. Some stuff you can kind of get away with, but when you're trying to build towards that endurance event and that sort of stuff, you need time off it, you need the mileage, you need the volume, all right? So we're going to come on to that, okay? So that's what we're going to do. But before we do all that, what's this? How's the creatine going? I'm on week 5 and it's loading my VO2 max. Ben, how's your creatine going?
Remember, I've got a little scoop, haven't I? But yeah, I mean, my Garmin put me in strained, so it was it. But I'm on week 3,
right?
So let's kind of see. I don't know that I've noticed a difference, to be fair.
Hayden, did you do a cheeky line of creatine before you came on?
No, not tonight. No.
Admit, how are you finding it on the creatine diet?
I haven't done it yet.
Have you not? I wonder what it would taste like.
I did a lot of reading on it, and I'm in two minds.
What do you mean? Why are you in two minds?
Because it can have impact on your stomach.
Like what? Badly?
Yeah.
What, give you the shits?
Well, I think all kinds of stuff with your bowels and pancreas and all kinds of stuff when I was reading.
Oh, tight. Like what? I've been taking it for 3 weeks now, so I'd like to know what I've been doing to my
Well,
body.
you should have done a bit more reading on it.
I asked you to find out from the doc.
Doc's not back from holiday until tomorrow.
It's always just my hero's always on holiday. Yeah, go on.
Can
you get him to ring me from the airport? Chris, stop it now! Stop it!
I'll get him. In fact, I'll get him to ring you when I pick him up.
Yeah, I just need to know. So, what's this? I'm getting what am I getting? Kidney stones or something?
Well, no, I think it's probably fine, but I think it depends on how long you take it for. You know, everybody's different.
How long should I take it for?
Well, I don't know.
Well, how long did they say if you take it, if you get kidney stones?
Didn't say you can get kidney stones. Anyway, let's carry on with what we were talking about, long runs.
No, because Adrian asked the question, and he's live in the audience, so it's like, so how's the creatine going? But none of you are taking it.
And I think to his point, being good for strength, that is what the kind of main benefit is. There is I think there's a marginal benefit. Well, didn't Matt say there's a marginal benefit to recovery? And that's a bit I probably haven't noticed in terms of gym work. I think I'm 3 weeks in, and that's when you start seeing, I think, the level, because I didn't go to the max of like ODing on it to like
big
bulk
scoop
up straight. Yeah, I didn't big scoop. I just little scooped because of the bowel, like stomach issues. Let's say I didn't want that. So yeah, I think to Adrian's point, yeah, I'm hoping from next week I'll start seeing the gains in the gym. But yeah, I don't know from a recovery perspective if it will do that.
I don't know whether it's linked, and it's probably not. But that tendonitis stuff that I had on my, I can't remember what it's called. I wasn't listening. But on my leg, let's call it. Since I've been taking the creatine, it's got better. And I'm not making that up.
Treatment though as well, right?
Oh yeah, I've had shock treatment. By the way, if you ever about shock therapy, just be warned. Or warn your physiotherapist that you're going to swear a lot because it hurts a lot. I mean, a lot. I was crying like a baby in that. When I hit the spot, I thought somebody had shot me. It's
a tattoo.
Oh, like, I quite enjoy the tattoo. It's 100 million times worse than having a tattoo. When they find the spot, now don't forget my tenderopathy, whatever they call it. I don't know what it was. Is close to the bone. So on your leg, I'll show you. So this is my leg.
If you're listening right now.
Oh my God.
This is like your tendon runs down here. Yeah, it goes behind your ankle and goes under your foot. Yeah. So I've got like this localized pain here, right? But it's right underneath the bone. So the tendon runs all the way down here, under there and whatever. But you have to get really close to the bone to get it. If you touch that bone with that machine, honestly, it's like, nah, she might as well just stick a gun in my head and blow my brains out. It's so painful. But I don't know whether the two are linked because it's stopped. It's lessened like 90% since I've been taking the creatine. And I don't know whether the two are connected. I've got no idea. No idea. Volume's actually increased in terms of running. Right? So it definitely ain't the running that's helping. But something, I don't know, could be the shockwave, might not be. I don't know.
I'd say it's probably the shockwave treatment because to Ben's point, it takes a few weeks for that creatine to kick in and, for it to build up.
I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Just putting it out. Anybody who's suffering with the same thing as me, don't go out immediately and start doing lines of creatine. Not what I'm advising, okay? What I'm saying to you is it's weird how the two sort of lined up together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever had that shockwave treatment, admin?
No.
Hayden?
I haven't, but the missus has, Louisa has, and so Darren just commented, Darren Burrows, he had it a couple of weeks ago, actually. He's got it on his lower...
Yeah, Dr. Page's gate told him to do it.
Oh, is that right, Dr. Page?
He's my doctor as well. My name's my sort of... What do they call it? Nurse paging. But yeah, what are you laughing at?
He's not a nurse, is he?
Oh, yeah, he's qualified. Yeah, he's qualified. He works at Harlow Hospital.
Qualified as you are.
Yeah. Anyway, so but I would recommend the old shockwave. Just pre-warn your physio that you're probably going to swear and cry a lot because it is really painful, but it only lasts for like, I don't know if it's 15 minutes or 20 minutes, how long ever she has that thing on there. All I know is like 15 minutes to 20 minutes of absolute pain. But you just got to cowboy up and get on with it. Mark's in. I'm with Toby. Big Arch, too salty. Big Mac all the way. But okay. So he's with Toby. We still haven't spoken about. I'm trying to do this segue. I'm still trying to do this link between running, missing long range. Anyway, So you shouldn't miss. No, you should prioritize long runs. This is what I want to get to. Hayden, in your running week, do you prioritize the long run? Yes or no? No or yes?
Yes.
Why?
Because fundamentally, it's the one run that is going to give me everything that I want for my training. That endurance, that confidence, just everything, and the mileage as well. If you want to hit a certain mileage on a week, that's hard to hit during the week, like we spoke about last week. That long run, that would give you it. For me, it's all about long run. If I had to give up, if I had to run just once a week, I'd do the long run. That's it.
Okay.
Definitely.
What distance do you categorize as a long run? For
That,
you.
It's really subjective, isn't it? For me, I would say 18 kilometers and over, so about 11 miles.
For normal people, what's that?
About 11, anything over 11, 12 miles for me becomes a longer run.
Okay. Admin, I know you don't run much, but when you did.
Yeah. Yes, I prioritise the long run.
Why?
Because for me, it's the mental bit as well as the physical bit. So yes, it's time on your feet and, but it gives you confidence. And actually, the biggest thing for me is going through those mental barriers of it feeling hard, tough, I can't do it, on the day. So I think for me, it gives you that confidence and that boost and gives you the ability to work through the stuff. And even when it's tough, you get back out and you go again next week. And yeah.
Okay. Ben?
Yeah, I'd agree. I prioritize.
No, stop. Abby, what do you class long run?
I would say anything over, for me, 8 miles and above.
Okay. Sorry, Ben. Carry on. Sorry, mate.
That's right. Yeah, I'd prioritize it. I think there's opportunities within the long run to play around with your fueling. So kind of getting prepped for kind of race day. So giving you that opportunity to try it. I think within the, like Hayden said, it's the best way of kind of building up the mileage, and you can mix in some pace in there. So, however long that run is, sometime easy, sometime maybe a little bit of pace and then back again. So I think it's that run that you can kind of do everything in.
I think, you could actually, I think you hit the nail on the head. You can incorporate every run within the long run, but you can't incorporate the long run within all your other runs.
Yeah. What's your class as a long run? Bearing in mind you're a 2:30 marathon runner.
Yeah, right. I'd go 10. I think 10 miles is
10 miles.
Okay. Yeah, around the 10 mile mark would be a kind of long, getting into the longer run.
Interesting. Right, I wrote 10 things down. What were you laughing at?
I'm curious.
It's true. This is good.
Listen,
I actually spent some time on this because I genuinely, seriously, it's something that's come up. So I was like, actually, this is probably a sensible topic for a change.
I'd like to know your answer about what you class as a long run. To be fair,
15 miles.
I was going to say
15.
15 miles. So what? You don't class a half marathon as a long run?
No. Training. I'm talking training, man. I class half marathon as a race.
Interesting.
So I because of the routes I run, I wouldn't do 13. I'd do 12 or 15 or something like that. I go 8 to 12 is middle distance.
So interesting, isn't it? Because and it's all fair. It's all subjective. Depending on where we're at and what we think. But on paper, when you look at the Olympians and stuff, they call sprints and stuff short distance, and then they middle distance 1500 they class as middle distance. 5k 3k to them is middle distance, and we're talking about 8 miles, which is what, 12-13 kilometers. So it's just a comparison, isn't it? It's just really interesting that
for me it's trying to get over to do a long run. I sort of classify it more time on feet, so anything sort of well over 2 hours. Does that make more sense? So we did I'd say a steady for me. Okay. Again, this is all relative to everybody. Yeah. We did a steady long run at the weekend. We was 8:30 per mile. What's that for Hayden? Because he works in that stupid other thing. But 5:15.
5:20, I think.
Oh. But yeah. So per kilometer. Yeah. 15 miles is about 25k, right? 24k.
Yep.
But basically, we was out there for, I think it was 2 hours and 7 minutes. Ben, something like that, right?
Yep.
So again, over that 2 hour mark, that's where I'm going into long run territory. But don't forget, again, big caveat to all that. I do a lot of marathon training because I enjoy it. Basically, I love doing the longer miles. I love doing the long runs. Again, I would sacrifice everything in the week, either over a race or over a long run. For me, firstly because I enjoy it, and secondly, I know the benefit that I'm getting from it, mentally and physically. But yeah, so for me, it's more time based than distance, and I tend to do 15 miles in general, just over 2 hours. So that's why the way I look at it. But again, I'm somebody who runs, Paige and I will do 8 miles on a Wednesday. So it's a middle distance run. It's quite a nice distance. I really like doing 8-mile distances. I think that's a nice, steady one you can do. You know what I mean? It's again, you're sort of, it's hour and 15, something like that. I don't even know how long it took us this week, but it's something around. It's just over that hour mark. You know what I mean? It's quite nice. Again, so it's sort of half of the distance of like a 15 miler in terms of timing. That's kind of how I look at it from there. Anyway, so firstly, I wrote these 10 things down. The first one is, I think, it's pretty obvious, is the fact that it's building your aerobic endurance, right? I think that's developing the cardiovascular base and that sort of stuff. Skipping the long run, sort of, best way to describe it, limits your body to efficiently sort of deliver that oxygen to your muscles over the time that you need to. So building aerobic endurance is a key one. This is a good one. Improves your fat utilization. Does anybody know what I mean about that?
It teaches your body how to burn fuel. Is that right? How to burn your
basically, you're tapping into the fat stores for fuel. So you're sparing that glycogen for sort of later in the race. It's that efficiency in terms of using your sort of fat stores and then getting into the rest of it as you go through the run. That takes training to do, and you from the long run you get that. Mental conditioning. Anybody understand about that?
Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah, I think it's kind of prepping you for, as you said, like your version is the kind of 2 hours element, and it's it's the time of feet, but it's also giving you that, right, I'm out here running for X period of time, so it's getting you mentally focused and
mental toughness.
Yeah,
mental toughness and resilience, and it can be like also just to be able to get like through the boredom of it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. If you've had a longer period of time off and you go back to a long run, let's just say you haven't done like what you class. Okay, but if you haven't done a long run, what you've classed a long run for a while,
yeah.
When you come back mentally, how much more difficult is that?
It's awful.
Yeah,
it is so. I'm in that space. I've been in that space. It's tough. You have to do a lot of reminding yourself. I can do it. I did do it. Yes, it might feel tough the first time, but I'll get there. It's weird because actually the first time you do those runs, like I remember the first time I ran 8 miles, 10 miles when I was first doing my marathon training, and it was like, oh my God. And whilst it was tough at that time, you were hitting new milestones. So, you were almost like excited because you knew you'd never been there. You were going further than you've ever been. Whereas now it's like, you do have that bit in your head as well. For me, certainly at the moment, which is, I used to be a bit faster than that. I used to be able to do that much easier. It didn't used to feel like that. It used to feel tougher at this point. So, it's hard.
It is hard. It is hard, mate. And anybody coming back is tough. But just build up slowly. I think, Ben, did you mention this? Refining fueling and hydration strategies. Did you say that?
Yeah.
So just discovering basically
it's playing around with it, isn't it?
Yeah, what you can tolerate stuff. Testing gear, shoes, all that sort of crap. I think it's always good in terms of the long runs. Might be a bit of a random one. Rehearse pacing strategies around pacing. I think that's something that's quite hard to get if you're doing a half marathon or you're doing a marathon or even an ultra to be able to practice pacing over a longer distance is quite beneficial, actually. To have that sort of restraint and ability to give and take through a longer run over a period of time is it shouldn't be underestimated how important that is, because if you go into that race and you just like empty the tank in the first 3 miles, then you're gonna be in for a shit day. Do you know what I mean? But being able to sort of rehearse it, practice it, take a half marathon and go, right, this is the first half of my marathon, and I'm going to do exactly in this race as I'm going to do on race day. as an example.
And without the pressure of it being on race day, I think it's kind of good.
It's so important though, and it's so hard to do. Like I haven't cracked it. You know, no matter how many times I do a long run, I can never crack it because in training, I'm like, right, okay, yeah, this is the pace. This feels comfortable. Or like, you know, you play around with it. I get to race day, no matter what happens, I will always go off too quick. I don't know. It's the adrenaline. It's the being around thousands of people. I still cannot control that pace in those first few miles. It just doesn't happen.
We know that. We saw that in Chicago, Jim. when you was on for a 3:30 marathon or whatever it was. Is someone going to ring her and tell her? She's funny. That was classic happening. That was. But no, seriously, people can't control it, and it's really hard to learn to control it. And again, that's where a long run is good practice at learning that, and having that self-control can make you such a better runner, not just in your half marathons, but even if you then start going, you know what, I'm going to go and do a 5K, to have a strategy and be able to implement a strategy and know the feel of it. I think anybody who's done multiple endurance events, you know, after a while, and I'm talking races, you do get a feel of certain paces and certain efforts. You'll know when you're going too fast, and you know when you're going too slow. Even though we say I'll go steady, sometimes you can start even too slow because you can't get into that rhythm. And it's trying to find that, and the long run can use that. So again, utilizing long runs to practice marathon goal pace or half marathon goal pace or whatever it is. It's a good thing to do. It really is. Building muscular strength and durability. I think long distance running definitely builds that sort of strength within the legs and the core and the supporting muscles over time. It does take time, okay? And that durability, I wouldn't say necessarily reduces the risk of injury and fatigue late in the race, but it can help to battling that. Does that make any sense? So, like, if you're not doing these longer runs at the end of the race, if you're doing an endurance event, it's going to show up that you haven't done them, basically, because you haven't got that strength, you haven't got that staying power that you would have developed by doing the longer miles and the time on feet. Has anybody ever gone into an endurance race, half, you know, or marathon, let's say, we'll keep it for those two for this discussion, and done a training block, but not actually through other reasons, not being able to get a certain amount of long runs in? Has anybody done that? Hayden, looking at you.
I think a couple of years ago, I done my Berlin one. I was injured at first. And I think I literally had about 8 weeks on plan, 2-week taper, so up to 6 weeks. I did go straight into a longer run, but no, nothing like I'd like to. If I class a 12 miles as a long run on a 16-week plan, I'd like to be able to do probably 13, 14 weeks or 13, 14 long runs. So
how do you think that impacted you?
I think confidence definitely did, because I went into the race
confidence on it. Yeah,
thinking to myself, am I okay still to do this distance? Am I okay still to do it at this pace? Will I be okay? Am I going to blow up? Will I need more fuel? Even though I've done it all before, it's the doubt, it's confidence. So yeah,
it is a funny one. I remember, Ben, what was it? Which one did I do? And I literally just came straight back. Berlin, wasn't it? Berlin. Yeah. When you got me around that. After that. Yeah. I'd literally done nothing. Like almost. I think we managed 1 15-miler or something like that.
Yeah, we hadn't done many. But on the flip side of that is going in. You know, and we were talking after I'd done that. You know, the crazy Disney challenge. I struggled to get back into my running, but the one run that we maintained, you know, and that I showed up for was the long run, and that kind of showed. You know, I think that the flip side is kind of what Hayden was saying there. You know, that's where the benefits of the long run kind of show, because you know that kind of got me back, built that endurance up, and then kind of got back into it again.
Simulates race conditions. I think we spoke about that. But I think the reason I put that in is because it's sort of not the crowds, the bag chops, and going to the toilet 82 times, but it's the variables that you get on a race day. that you could get on a long run. You could be out there, could then start pissing down the rain. You might be out there and, I don't know, your shoes start playing you up, or you get something happens. I don't know. Something goes sideways and you've got to navigate that. By doing the long runs as well, and again, a lot of these are sort of less sort of the obvious physical, mental benefits. I try to pick stuff that may be a little bit more out there, but having to be able to manage race day variables, stuff that can get thrown at you, being chased by a dog, somebody nearly running you over, or whatever, whatever it is, the challenge that you get when you're out there can actually, I think, help on race day, because you've sort of come through different challenges through your long runs, and it just gives you a little bit more confidence, because confidence ultimately is key to any running or anything like that, but it's just building that belief in what you're doing, right? But yeah, I think I would say simulating race conditions, but the sort of distances that you are going to be running, I'm not saying run the marathon, by the way, in training, but going up to those sort of time on feet will help, because you'll get those different variables. Now, I'm going to let you all into a little secret. I only managed, when I said 10, I actually only managed to think 9. But what I did do, I used this thing on Google. There's this AI thing on Google. Have you seen
Gemini?
Whatever her name is. So I actually asked Google, and I'm going to read you what Google said. But I only wanted one, because I needed one more. I wrote 9 down. I couldn't think of it. I was in a rush, having straight face. It says, provides key adaptations you can't get elsewhere. And you could tell I've not wrote this one. The psychological stress of a long run triggers adaptations in mitochondrial density, capillary growth, and lactate threshold. I understood some of that, not all of it. These changes are specific to long efforts and simply can't be replicated by shorter runs. I'm going to read that again. Run triggers. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because this is the sort of hero I am. Watch this. Talk about yourselves. Ready? There you go. See that?
See what?
There you go. Just put it in the chat. Can you see it?
Yeah.
The psychological, physiological stress of a long run triggers adaptations in. I thought midi-chlorines, but that's from Star Wars.
Mitochondrial. Yeah.
Anyone know what that means? I should have asked.
Isn't it something to do with the heart?
I should have asked Google. Capillary and lactate threshold. These changes are specific to long runs and simply can't be replicated by short. I understand some of that, but I don't know what that midi-chlorines is. As I said, I thought that makes you a Jedi.
It's mitochondria.
Right, what's
I
that
think
mean?
it's to do with your heart. Definitely to do with your
Yeah.
heart.
It's definitely to do with your heart. I'm just having a look at what mitochondrial.
It's just heart strength. You say that cardio aspect of doing the long
Yeah.
run, just going to make your heart beat faster. It's going to get stronger. It's a muscle at the end of the day, isn't it?
So I'd just like to thank Google for coming up with my last one. And as I said, you can tell I didn't write that one. But yeah, so they're the sort of things I said. I wanted to sort of focus on ones that you may not have, because this is the obvious ones, isn't there? Time on feet, blah, 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 mileage, all this sort of stuff. But I think there's, as I say, there's some of the sort of finer details that can go missing. As I said, the things for me are that sort of mental conditioning. I forget the aerobic base, but the confidence boosting, but also that sort of the dealing with things that come up, especially in the heat, right? Are you feeling a bit funny, because it's hot, or you've got to drink a bit more, how do you fuel it? That sort of stuff, crossing roads slows you down. All that sort of stuff plays out. And then when you go to race day and it's a little bit smoother, it's a little bit more simple, it can really help. And again, it goes back to boosting confidence. So don't miss your long runs is the moral of the story, people. Do not miss your long runs. Although this weekend I'm missing mine, because I'm only doing 2 10 milers. So technically I'm not doing any. So I'm contradicting myself massively on this show tonight, as always. But Ben, you like you say something. By the way, you're going to get your hair cut for Sunday, because that looks a bit, not being funny.
For Sunday?
Yeah, what's going on there?
What do you mean? Yeah, I'll get it cut tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, it needs it. Right, team. I don't think have I forgotten anything this week, apart from the plug that I did like 15 minutes into the show. Have I missed anything else out this week? No. We're going to be doing a pre-record after this, because Hayden, what have we been doing?
We've been putting out to all our listeners about Ask the Host. We thought we'd do something different and any questions you want to ask the host, whether that's running related or anything you want to know about long run show, community, anything you want to know, just give us a shout and we're going to answer your questions.
We've been, well, I would say overwhelmed by the response. It's probably fair to say.
There's a lot.
How much is running related?
Probably not a lot.
No, I honestly think it's about 50-50.
Okay.
It's 50-50.
But
Is there any to do with his diet?
I don't actually think there wasn't any to do with his diet. I purposely haven't told him about any because it's so much more fun when you catch him ad hoc. Or if he knows what's coming, it's a bit boring. When he's ad hoc, you never know what's going to happen.
I've said to him, I don't want to answer any of these. I'm just putting it out there, by the way. Before you listen to that podcast comes out, I'm just telling you all now live. I don't want to talk about anything. So it's going to be a really interesting pod. No, so we're going to record that. But thanks to everybody who responded to that. We genuinely appreciate it. If you're not following us on the socials, what's the thing, Aidan, on Instagram?
It's just Long Run Show.
Make sure you follow that on Instagram. Get involved. If you've got any questions or comments, you can always email in. We've just remembered what the password is, so that was helpful. Shows how long we haven't looked at. I'll make you laugh, yeah. I had to help Wilco get access to it. I went on there. There was over 300 emails.
It's probably loads of sponsors and everything on there.
Oh, millions. There's Monster were on there and everything where everybody was offering us loads of sponsorship deals and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, we hadn't looked. But no, seriously, get over to the old Instagram and follow us on there. And actually, you should follow us on the socials, all of us. And the club. What's the club one?
40 Runs Running Club.
There you go. Follow that as well. And by the way, this is a message because I know it's coming. Anybody who hasn't renewed, by the way, and I'm going to get shot for this, so it's lucky she don't listen. But the membership secretary was telling me something the other day, and there's still a couple who haven't renewed. You need to do it. Like I think you'll get something in July, but you have to do it. There's a couple who haven't because they get struck off the system. And I know what it's like. You probably just haven't had time to do it, which I totally appreciate. So don't get struck off. And it's not like we want to strike you off. We ain't got any choice. We have to do it. So just make sure that you, whatever you need to do, just email the club at 40rounds.com if you're not sure how to sort of do your renewal things. I firstly think it's a total joke. I don't know why there isn't like an ongoing thing that you can just like renew, like when you join, like, you know what I mean? It would make
like auto renew, yeah.
Yeah, they get all this money from trying to put other clubs out of business by doing their own one. Why don't invest that money into some decent IT and actually support the clubs that are currently out there and help them work better and help them get more people into the system, help them develop the kids, help them develop the local running groups that are providing such a great network for people in local communities, instead of trying to waste all their money on trying to grab all these runners from other running clubs. I think it's disgusting, to be honest with you. So I think there should be auto renew. Like, so when let's say you wanted maybe you took up running in March and you want, actually, I quite like this little local running club down here. I'm going to join them as an affiliate member because I get some bits and bobs. And then you can join, and then you don't have to wait until April, and then some poor bugger has to turn up and do, I don't know, millions and millions and millions of admin just because basically all the money that you're giving to England Athletics ain't invested in the right place. It's invested in them having big stands at the NEC and big stands at the London Marathon Show, which is a total waste of money when it should be invested back into the sport. I think it's a disgrace.
It's an old school, model, isn't it?
It's a joke.
Moved on with the times.
They need to invest in the IT infrastructure that will help and support the running clubs that are doing such an amazing job throughout this country and getting people together and running, right? And improving their health and fitness through running, which is just amazing. Yeah. I'm not sure of any other regulator or governing body that is trying to take members from other clubs to fuel their own bank balance. I think it's a disgrace.
That's surely the conflict of interest, right?
There's a massive conflict of interest. What's the government doing about it? Nothing, because they're too busy worrying about other things. But it's a real shame that actually the governing body of this country is doing that to running clubs up and down the country. I think it's really sad, to be honest with you. But don't worry about it. Make sure you get out there and support your local running group. Is the key to this, because they do. Honestly, there's so many good ones out there. They do a brilliant job. They really, really do. It's great to see that running's booming, and some of these like smaller clubs are really benefiting from that through membership and stuff like that. I just think it's awesome. I saw it when I was in that Battersea one. All the different like clubs and people, like different groups. It doesn't matter if it's an official club or not. You know how these people are coming together. I think that's one of the great things that's come out of the popularity of running is that social aspects in all these different communities that that have come together and popped up through it. I think it's brilliant. So there we go. I can't remember where I was going on this. Anyway, we're off to Clapham. I'm probably going to get lynched by somebody from England Athletics like I usually do. Don't forget that are we live next week?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think anybody tunes in live anymore anyway. Please be kind in the reviews. It's not my fault. And I think that's about it, isn't it? Admin, have you got anything to add?
No, just thank the sponsors again.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Sketches, for sponsoring this podcast. It's probably going to get taken off there by England Athletics. We shall see you maybe next week. We might not be here because they might have sued me. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.